All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is a 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm thinking I'm going to say it's about 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. I was about to say 6 p.m. 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. Hopefully, we will have somebody coming in to correct me if I'm wrong, because I have been known to be wrong before. Who am I? I am Mad Statter. This is Chatter with Statter. Every Sunday, every Wednesday, we have a little chatter show here, and we are starting it here today, 5 p.m., almost on time, almost on time. We will now, maybe, as we can figure out what the flying fork it is we're doing, we can maybe get this party started. All right, let's do it. Boop. All right, there we have it. And as usual, I might have not known what the flying fork I was talking about. Rick coming in. Hey, this Sunday evening. Hey, Rick, did I say it was Saturday? Because when I read that you said Sunday, I suddenly thought, I might have said it was Saturday, but it's not. It's Sunday. It is a chilly Sunday here in the Seattle area, but where Rick was this week is not quite so chilly. And we've got Elaine coming in. Just a quick hi as you're needing a nap. You'll be K for a bit. I understand. I took a nap today. I woke up about 13 minutes before this stream was supposed to happen. So I'm feeling a little cocky wumpus myself. All right, we've got Puzzy Cat in the house. That is excelente. And Deb Case coming in from Kentucky on the YouTube side. I love it when I see people coming in on the YouTube side, because then it makes me know that we've got people coming in from the YouTube side. Awesome. Love that you're here, Deb. And hopefully you will have something to add to the topic of the day, which is, I'm going to be talking about soup a little bit, because let me tell you, I am in a soup flippin' mood. But for those of you who don't know what's happening right now in the corner, we've got a kitty. We've got a kitty named Ashes who wants to pretend to think about being on the screen, but she knows exactly how to avoid being on the screen. All right, so if you catch an ear, if you catch a tail, that's who that is. Ashes is not making her debut, but I can tell you one thing. We have got a lot to cover today because our Chatter with Statter roving reporters are all over the place today. We have got folks coming in from San Francisco. We have got folks coming in from Wisconsin. We have got folks coming in from a cruise off the East Coast. And we've got Darlene in the house, Puzzy Cat, saying hello to the chatty cat. The chatty catty, that is exactly it. That is exactly it. So first off, I'd like to show you guys something that Andre just shared with me today. Andre may or may not be here, and that's fine, because you see where he's at right now. He's here. He is in the San Francisco area. I am not sure what exact bay. I'm not sure what exact moorage location, but somewhere in the bay area, we have got, what is that? What is that ship, might you say? Does it look familiar? Why, I hope it looks familiar. If you've been hanging out here, you should know it is the Hokulea. That is right. It is now in San Francisco. And Andre decided to go check it out in real life. And I said, I think that's a great idea, because you see, Andre has a better camera than I have. And so I thought, if anyone was going to go out and about taking a picture of something or other, why, that might be what the person I want to have happen do that. And I have got a serious problem with my lighting. Hold on. Here, kitten, what are you doing? What just happened? Wow, I think my cat just found a new mode. On my lamp to make it just turn on and off randomly for no reason. I don't really know if I like that new mode, but all right. I think we just got it fixed. And let's see here. Now we can go back to my face now that my lighting might be fixed. I don't know what Y'all just missed it. I don't know what just happened, but y'all just missed it. It was disco here for a second in the StatterBox studio. Yeah, she put one paw somewhere. I still don't know what she did, but boy, she set it afire, so to speak. So while we were having some lighting issues, it looks like, let's see here. It looks like somebody maybe came in. No, that's not what happened at all. What happened is, wait, Pokoletee is slipping back in, back row with a bowl of chocolate mac ice cream. Awesome, Pokoletee is here. Thank you so much for that subscription for 23 months. And I feel like we might have had another subscription. So hold on, let me make sure. Okay, hold on. I feel like, I don't know what happened here, but I feel like we did have Rick gifted Darlene a subscription. I knew something flashed through while we were having the disco ball situation in my living room. All right, so here we have it. Pussycat, you just had a piece of chocolate cake. You know what I just had? I just had a big old gulp of some sparkling water. I'm gonna say that you and Pokoletee maybe have better things right now. Chocolate cake, chocolate mac ice cream. Sparkling water. Totally wrong. I love LaCroix. I love my pamplemousse. But it is not ice cream, nor is it chocolate cake, nor is it vanilla cake, nor is it strawberry cake. No, it's just sparkling water. Yeah. Pepperidge Farms. Oh, gosh, you know, I haven't had a Pepperidge Farm cake in the longest time. But I remember when I was a kid, my very favorite cake was a Pepperidge Farm cake. I don't think you can get them anymore. But I don't know if anybody else remembers these cakes. They're obviously the Pepperidge Farm cakes. But they were the white cake, but it had lemon, like lemon curd, lemon jello, lemon, ice, or, middle layers. But then the outer layers was all white frosting and then with coconut. And to this day, that is one of my favorite cake combinations. In fact, when I was younger, I used to ask my mom to make a cake like that for my birthdays, out of like the box cake or whatever. And a couple years ago, I went to go look for a Pepperidge Farm cake that I swear they used to exist. Otherwise, how would I have come up with this cake that I thought I liked, that I asked my mom to make me from based on that cake, right? Anyway, they seem to have changed it, and now instead of the lemon filling, it's not lemon filling either. No lemon filling and no lemon filling. It's just the white filling. So it's just a white cake with coconut, and it's like, white cake with coconut is very different than white cake with lemon filling with coconut. And so why they thought they could just, like, nobody would notice that, I think that's just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know. And let's see here. Darlene, though, coming in with the brag. I'm eating homemade chocolate chip cookies. That is good. Although those Pepperidge Farm cookies, I have to say, I mean, okay, homemade cookies are obviously the ideal, but if you don't feel like eating or making cookies, those stupid Pepperidge, why do I keep on calling them Pepperidge Farm cookies are so delicious. I love the Chesapeake ones, the chocolate chips with, I think, pecans in them. Who doesn't love the Milano? Now, I'm hearing that there's some ginger. Let's see here, hold on. There's, ginger men that Pokoletee is mentioning, and I don't know anything about those, so I better go take a look one day down the cookie aisle. And right, Pokoletee, lemons go in the cake while lemons follow the cake. That is precisely it. And Pussycat, I know, here we go with the food again. Here we go with the food again. You know, hey, it's getting to be wintertime. We all need to put on our hibernation pounds, right? Okay. Maybe some of us need to lose the hibernation pounds from last year before they go thinking about putting on hibernation pounds from this year. Maybe. I don't know who I'm talking about as I drink my sugared soda water. I'm sure drinking sparkling sugared lime water has nothing to do with putting on hibernation weight. It tastes so fruity and summery. Yes, of course. But indeed, we can't help it. We love food here. And I did plan on talking a little bit about food. So, since we actually are on the, let's see here, where did it go? On the topic of the foods. And since Pokoletee is here, I thought I would share with you 2 little videos that Pokoletee shared with us on the cruise that Pokoletee is on right now. She booked a very, very special Petit Chef experience where the chef in question, very tiny chef, prepares the meal tableside for them to watch. So let's watch the videos of the little Petit Chef making the foods. Boop. And so let's see here, Rick. The video has a 3D look to it, is it? You're going to have to ask, well, obviously Pokoletee is going to need to chime in on this one. I have no idea how they managed the graphics because, yes, clearly a very 3D look to it. And in fact, I think the plate itself might actually be a plate. I don't know. You know, I don't know. All I know is, okay, so it was projected from the ceiling onto your plates. So it actually was the plate that you then got your food, your real food served on. And so basically what happened from what the email that Pokoletee sent me was, so you get this little show before each course, and then the course that little chef prepared for you is what eventually in real life ends up on your plate. So they show you the little movie, and then they serve you the food that they showed you, so to speak. And so that was the lobster course. There was, I think there was a soup, if I remember correctly, a bouillabaisse, another kind of, I think there was, I don't remember the exact courses, but I can tell you that the lobster course was one of the courses that she sent, but she also sent the dessert. So this is the little La Petite Chef making them their dessert.
I showed you two, and you said, "Oh my God, that's pretty good." And I said, "Well, this is run it."
So there we have, hold on. All right. So there we've got that. So, I can honestly say my mind was blown when I watched that. How does anyone think of that? What a creative presentation. You know, you're tasked with this idea of trying to make an eating experience more memorable, more unique, more of an experience. And that is what so many high-end restaurants are going for, is obviously not just the food, but the experience of the food. Now, it's one thing to have the chef come to the actual real-life chef, come to your table and prepare things tableside. Absolutely, that's an experience. But it's also not a realistic experience for a room full of people. You know, everybody gets their own personal chef. That doesn't work. So how the flippin' flying florpin', who thought of this? Who was like, you know, boss, I've got an idea. I got this idea here, right? All right. You know, like, I am just not creative like that. My brain just does not work like that. I know that, like, I know, Pussycat, that, like, you know, oh, well, it's all computers. But the thing is first off, that's not AI. That's actually somebody thought of it. So that's not artificial intelligence. That is human creative intelligence right there that conceived of this idea for a dining experience. Like, how the flying flurpin' flork did that even cross anyone's mind? And then, the infrastructure to pull something like that off, the projectors literally are projecting onto each individual plate, which means that each individual plate has to be set in the most very, very specific spot. And Rick, you can see doing one table, but all the tables, how much tech did they install? Rick, I can only assume that the whole restaurant had this same situation going on, because you could hear in the background the crowd noise of the crowd, that like everybody was experiencing the same thing at the same time, and if you watched on the edge of the screen, you could see during the lobster phase, you could see the lobster being ridden on the other plate as well. Like, so yeah, obviously, the one table, each table each plate had their own individual tiny chef, and that whole thing that tiny chef did on that plate that we saw was doing the same thing on every plate. So yeah, the technical infrastructure alone is impressive. But to me, the idea of like, who thought of that? And then not only thought of that, but like thought it through enough to bring it to fruition. It's just, and Pussycat, exactly. It's just a form of entertainment. It's a form of entertainment to attract people. Absolutely. But thinking of that entertainment, that is to me what like was the most impressive thing, was just like it even crossing someone's mind to do that. And then of course, okay, so the snow that the chef was walking on was actually ice cream, and just the whole thing, it's so creative, so flippin' creative. Now I hope that the food was half as good as the effort and creativity that went into making the experience. But let's see here. Pokoletee, the humor element really added to the experience. Oh, some folks ordered steak, so we watched that on your plates too. Oh, okay, and La Petite Chef burned that one to a crisp. Oh, okay, so obviously it was... Oh, wow, so you got to watch other people's food get made as well. Okay. And, Pokoletee, not at all surprised that the food was excellent, but the food was excellent. And, Rick, is there a scary sequel where they show the people devouring all the food? Yeah, no, you just get to look around for that scary sequel. But, I really have to say, one of my favorite parts on that little skit or whatever, the little video, the animation, was when he was making the little sundae and he walked across the plate and then he slipped in the fudge and then his little footprint continued on. I thought that was brilliant. I thought it was very cute, humorous, but also very very typical and indicative of what, or not indicative, but very typical of what chefs do when they try to fancy up a plate, right? They'll drizzle some sauce and they'll maybe like smear it a little bit over there and add a dot over there, and so that was such a cute little touch. Hey Gina, sneaking in a little late. Good to see ya. We are okay. Gina, buckle in. You're never gonna believe this. We're talking about food. We're talking about food. Yeah, we're talking about food. We were talking about, what were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about cookies before. But now, we are talking about the experience that Pokoletee had, where she had a little animated chef on her tabletop pretending to make her food for her. And it was just so cute. It was just so cute. And Rick being all hoity and toity. I prefer no footprints on my plates. Thank you very much. No footprints. And let's see here. So Pokoletee did not share the video, but the salad video is hysterical, or hilarious, excuse me. The little chef chased around a mole in his garden when he was trying to harvest the vegetables. Oh, that would have been cute. That would have been cute. And so Gina, yeah, so here we go, you guys. You know what? We're gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. All right, well, Gina, this is what we're talking about. So for those of you who like literally just saw this, well, you're gonna just say it again. Okay, this is where there's two videos. We're only gonna show one. We're gonna show dessert. We're gonna show the dessert video again. This is what we're talking about with the chocolate footprints and the everythings. Boop. You see, it's not really a snow-covered tabletop. And the little chef actually is probably bigger than that in real life. But this is the Petit Chef. And he's making the sundae for the dessert. Boop, there goes the ice creams. Pretty soon we gotta get the raspberries. The raspberries. Now, I have to say, the first time I saw this part, I was like, what is going on? It took me a minute for me to notice the hose that he had used to spray the chocolate sauce. So, like, I will admit, that one definitely made me do a double take. I was like, what is he doing to the ice cream? And then I realized, oh, okay, it's chocolate sauce. That's much better than what I don't know what I thought it was. That's much better. And then the little wood chippers for the almonds or whatever kind of nuts. It was so funny. And this is my favorite part. Whoop, whoop, doo, footprint. All the little footprints on the plate. And then I'm not sure what this was all about. Somebody's birthday, maybe? All I know is this is a really bad idea. Somebody might get hurt. Oh, okay, with a cookie wafer. Got it. But the cookie wafer, it didn't have fire with it, right? Or did the cookie wafer come with like a candle? Yeah, so that little chilly exit was a little sends me chillin'. So, Gina, that was what we were talking about. We were talking about like the technology, the creativity. We were talking about the chocolate footstep. So now you are caught up on that. Even though that last little bit with the ice falling in the ice water made me a little bit chilly, I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter how chilly I am today, because I am kind of chilly, because it's cold here in Seattle. It like started raining, and it's going to be raining for the next couple weeks, so I might actually have to turn my heat on. But what I do know is I am going to make some clam chowder later tonight, and so I'll be cozy in my belly with my clam chowder. And Rick, looks like some ocean violations to fix right there. There you go. Yes, Darlene, fall is here. And let's see here. Pokoletee, I'll be eating another ice cream sundae again without thinking about tiny footsteps. An ice cream sundae does, as cold as I am right now, because I am kind of chilly, an ice cream sundae actually sounds really good with hot fudge. Oh, hot fudge. That sounds delicious. Okay, so Gina, you're coming in with 64 degrees. I'm looking at my weather underground. Let's see here. What's my weather right now? I'll tell you in a minute. 59 degrees and completely rainy everywhere. Pussycat, make some brownies. You know, I think I've got everything in my cupboard to make some brownies, now that I think about it. The chewy kind. Okay, first off, Pussycat, there are no other kinds. Anybody who makes cake-like brownies bothers me. It's like, why didn't you just make cake? Anybody who overcooks their brownies into hard little pucks. I don't even have words for those people, actually. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I love a good chewy brownie with a nice little crispy corner. But the key word here is crispy, not crunchy. Okay, crispy is very different than crunchy. So you've got the crispy corners with the chewy is perfect. And then of course when you've got the middle one, well, that's just the prime and dandy brownie piece right there. But you know, not everybody can have the middle piece. So sometimes you have to put up with the crispy edge. Crispy, not crunchy. And it looks like Andre came in saying hello, giving out gift subs like Andre always does. Thank you so much, Andre. We're definitely not expecting to see you here because I already showed people where you were at, sort of. We weren't sure if you were going to be able to make it, but we were all very excited that you got this picture. And I don't know if you noticed, you guys, but in the bottom left corner of this picture, there is some kind of action shot going on. I am going to assume that it is a seabird that had dove for some fish and it was just reemerging from the water. Then again, it could also be a tail of some sort coming out from the water. I'm honestly not sure, but... Oh, no, it's just a swimmer. Andre, are you kidding me? Okay, well, still, it's an action shot. It's a swimmer? Oh my god, I'm getting cold just thinking about that. Wow, okay. I'm glad we're having this conversation because that never crossed my mind. And, yeah, exactly, Pokoletee. Brr. So, but Andre, I meant to ask you, or no, here we go. They have a swim club at the aquatic park. And, let's see here. Before I go and ask you about that, I want to say, hey, Option, super good to see you. And yes, indeed, brownie edges are the yummiest. And, Pussycat, you magnified it. It looks like a whale tail. Yeah, at first, that's what I thought it was. But then I was like, no, that would be way too awesome. And so I assumed maybe it was a bird, but no, apparently it's a swimmer. All right, there you go. And Gina, I don't know why you're not seeing anything on the YouTube side. I can tell you that I am seeing... Hold on, wait. I was seeing... Oh, no, I am seeing the YouTube side coming through on mine, and so I don't know what's going on with you, but looks like you're like, oh, yeah, no, there it is. Okay. Yeah, we've only got Deb Case on the YouTube side, I think, today. And Deb Case, she is signing off because maybe she wants to take a nap. Maybe she needs to get cozy with her coffee. I'm not sure why she's signing off, but that's okay. It doesn't matter because life gets in the way. And even if you can only be here for 5 minutes to join the chat, that's okay because you're here for 5 minutes to join the chat. And even if you're only here for 3 minutes to lurk on the chat, that's okay. That is okay. And okay, cool, Andre, you got so much pictures and videos of the event. Oh, awesome. If you ever feel like sharing them, you know that I will give them a platform here. So by all means, pass along whatever it is you feel like passing along. And so, okay, Darlene and Pussycat, yeah, okay, cool. The YouTube side is actually coming through for most, if not all, folks. And Pokoletee, I am kind of ignoring your I'm ignoring your post because I've seen those pans. And those pans are a dream of mine. So, Pokoletee, I feel like I've seen a special baking pan divided into grids. It's for making brownie squares that each have a crust. It's not a grid. Well, okay, maybe you have seen a brownie pan divided into grids. But the ones that I've seen, like, are sort of almost Tetris-like shaped or whatever. So every piece is guaranteed to have, like, a corner crust. I can't even remember exactly how it is, but yeah, basically every piece has a little bit of crust in it. And the crispy crust, exactly. The crispy corners on brownies are the best part. And here, here's a secret. Here's a secret that I've already shared with you guys before, and I'll probably tell you that I've done it again. So, whenever I bring brownies to an event, you know, a potluck, whatever, I bake the brownies in the brownie pan with parchment paper. I remove the brownies from the pan with the parchment paper, so then I have my brownies on a cutting board, basically. And then I take a pizza cutter, you know, the roller, and I roll cut the edges off of all of the brownies. So I'm just left with 4 very skinny brownie edges pieces. I discard those, and by discard those, I mean I keep them in a stash only for me. And then with the non-crusted brownies, so now all the edges are gone, I then use my pizza cutter to cut them into equal squares. And so then, and the reason why I do this is so on the tray, they all look really uniform. And they look like professional. But the drawback to that is nobody gets the edge. And that would be a drawback, except for when I say nobody gets the edge, what I really mean is only one person gets all of the edges. And that one person is me. And so, yes, it is brilliant and sneaky. And what's even better, no one really notices or calls me on it, because what they notice is on the plate or the tray how uniform and beautifully even each brownie is. And Darlene, it is 1000% a win-win. I mean, I pass this baking hack on to you. Whatever kind of brownie you want to do. Do you want a peanut butter brownie? Do you want a brownie with chocolate chips? Do you want a cream cheese brownie? Do you want just a regular old bread brownie with nuts? What do you want to do? You can do any kind. But the key is bake it in parchment paper so you then can remove the whole thing. Take just the edges with the pizza roller. The pizza roller is actually another key thing. And then you just boop, 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 and you're beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Yep. And let's see here. Andre, your mom used to make pot brownies before it was legal. Yeah, that was pretty much the only way that people would eat weed back in the day. And Pokoletee, so much better trimming brownies than trimming finger sandwiches. Who wants to eat dry bread crusts? Yeah, exactly. On the other hand, when you're making finger sandwiches, you sure as shirt. That's right. You see what I did there? Better cut off those crusts, because finger sandwiches are all about that soft bread. In fact, I made some egg salad the other day, and I had a loaf of French bread, a tiny loaf of French bread, and so I cut some pieces. But I literally had to dismantle the sandwich after the first bite or two, because the crust was too chewy for the texture of the sandwich, and it just wasn't working. So I trimmed all of the little chewy crust off of the French bread, so I just was left with the soft inner part, and then I reassembled my egg salad sandwich. Much better experience for the sandwich. You had to have the soft bread with the soft filling. You cannot have soft filling with a toothsome bread. It just does not work. And let's see here. Andre, crust is used for breadcrumbs, right? I would assume that they save it for something, and breadcrumbs would be the only thing I can think of. I wouldn't save the bread crust, most likely. I didn't with the French bread crusts. I threw them in the compost bin. I will admit. I will admit. And Pussycat, is it cold enough to make some chili? You have some good recipes for it. Yummy chili mac. There you go. I would not be opposed to some chili. In fact, I've got some chicken in my fridge thawed right now that I need to figure something out to do with it, and making a green chili might actually be really good. And I've got a bunch of beans that I already made in the freezer that I was thinking about taking out. Why then their little Pussycat, I think we might have some chili on the menu this coming week, now that I think about it. I think I know that chili's gonna be on my menu for the next week. I don't know about your menu, but my menu for sure. And Gina, you hated pizza crust edges growing up and used to do that. You know, it's so funny. I always ate the pizza crust edges. They were never my favorite thing. Okay, that's not true. Pizza Hut double stuffed, or the Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza, where they stuff the edge with the cheese. Okay, I will eat those crusts all day, every day. But no, please, Pussycat, don't start charging for your ideas. But other than those, other than that crust, I never really was a fan of crust as a kid growing up, but I still would eat it all because you're supposed to. But now as an adult, you know what? I'm going to admit it. Unless the crust is really good and I really, really want it, I don't eat my crusts anymore. I just don't. I know that that's a wasteful, childlike thing to do, but when I was a kid, I ate them. Now as a grown-up, I don't. So, there you go. I just don't do it. And Pussycat, that your daughter dips her crust in garlic butter, and it's delicious. That I assume that's why a lot of pizza places these days sell dipping sauces with their pizzas. And maybe I should hop on that bandwagon. Instead, I just leave the pizza bones. Throw them in the compost. If I had dogs, I'd give the pizza bones to the dogs, because that's what I call my crusts. I call them pizza bones. There you go. And let's see here. Pokoletee, we're eating Chinese barbecue tonight from a place that closed for good today. The owner is retiring after 35 years. Mr. Pokoletee waited in line for 4 hours yesterday to get some barbecue pork and duck. Mr. Pokoletee is a saint or a weirdo. No, he's a saint. He's a saint. And it sounds like you might be, I'm assuming now, then you must be back home in Hawaii if you're eating that. Because I'm guessing if you were on the cruise, you would not be able to do that. And so, yes, and Andre, exactly. In the name of the Welsh miners, I don't eat my crusts, because the Welsh pasty crust is supposed to be thrown out. It was developed for tin miners, which had tin ore, which is toxic. So all the toxic would be left on the crust. And you could throw it away, keeping the miners safe. Yeah, so he wouldn't have to throw his hands. He wouldn't have to throw his hands away, is what I was about to say. Yeah, pro tip. Try not to throw your hands away when you're eating lunch. When you're eating lunch, it's best to have your hands before, during, and after you're done eating lunch. So don't throw them away. What I meant was wash. Yeah, it prevented them from having to wash their hands before they ate lunch, because they're in the middle of a coal mine or a tin mine and they can't go wash their hands. Yeah, there you have it. So, Elaine, you got to say goodnight? All right. Well, I'm super stoked that you got to hang out. Go take a little nappy nap if you need to. Go take a little walkie walk if you want to, or just go eat some foods if you need to. We will see each other soon. And Pussycat, you had Mongolian barbecue in Hawaii at the International Marketplace. I love Mongolian barbecue. I'll tell you what, man. Let's see here. Yeah, but Mongolian barbecue is one of my favorite things, but when I grew up, okay, so I don't know if this is, all right, you guys, I have a question. When I grew up, Mongolian barbecue was basically a self-serve buffet where you then threw all your raw ingredients. You then handed your bowl of raw ingredients to the chef at the big grill, and he cooked them for you. Since then, so that was the style of the place in my hometown. And in doing that with that style, you got to choose whatever meats you wanted, however much meat you wanted. You could choose rolled up, frozen strips of ham, frozen strips of lamb is what I meant to say, not ham, frozen strips of pork, frozen strips of beef, whatever. But the one that I go to here now, they don't have their proteins out for you to take. You actually have to, you order so you fill your bowl with all of the other ingredients, but they only, in theory at the place where I grew up, you could walk up with a bowl full of beef and that's all, and that would be fine. And they would make the bowl full of beef and whatever. Whereas at this other place in the town that I live in now, you cannot do that. You come in, you've got your bowl full of all your other ingredients, and then the guy is like, do you want beef? Do you want chicken? Do you want whatever? And then they portion out, certain 4-ounce portion of meat that they put on the grill. And so, so let's see. Hey, PB Bang, good to see you. We are talking about a restaurant style in the United States called Mongolian barbecue. I am unsure if Finland has it, but it's delicious, and this is what we're talking about. And so, and then let's see here. Okay, right. So Andre, I think all you can eat meat put you out of business these days. Well, exactly. So it sounds like that was my question was, so is that an old school situation where they used to let you control your meat, and nowadays they're like, we can't do that anymore? Or is that just the chain that, or does different restaurants still give you control over it? And so Darlene, that's the kind I want you mad Satter, except you let the cooks know what you wanted going down the aisle and tell them what you want, and then tell them what protein or seafood you like shrimp. Okay, so Darlene, you sound like you have even less control with your Mongolian barbecue than what I'm used to. Because what I'm used to is you've got your own bowl in your own hands, and with your own hands, you take the tongs and you go noodle, and you go green stuff, and then you go other green stuff, and so, whereas it sounds like with your situation, you tell the person, green stuff, other green stuff, noodle, and they put it in the bowl. So I've never seen a Mongolian barbecue place like that. That's interesting. And so Pokoletee, some Mongolian barbecue places now charge by the ounce. It keeps them from going out of business from all-you-can-eaters who take that phrase a little too literally. Okay. And Andre, okay, so every Mongolian barbecue place was pick-it-yourself meat. When I grew up, that's how it was. But like I said, the one that's in my town right now, that's not how it is. And so I wasn't sure, is it, like I've said, is it that chain style, or is it just the modern day, oh, we can't afford this all-you-can-eat beef bowl, so we're going to have to rein in a little bit on the shrimp and the beef and the bacons and the hams and the lambs and the porks and the whatever. And so, so let's see here. Andre, hot pot places used to be like all the meat wanted be brought back to your table to eat. Yeah, I've never been to a hot pot place. So I have no idea how those places work. I mean, I've made hot pot at my own house, but that's not the same at all. And so, yeah, Darlene, I'm thinking it's more modern day as well. But it sounds like Andre still knows a couple old school places in the Bay Area that maybe let you sneak in more meat than the average person. And Andre, but when you went to the Korean tabletop barbecue, they give you a set amount of meat for you to cook at the table, and then lots of kimchi. Right. Okay, that makes sense. I've never been to Korean barbecue either, but I'm going to soon, I hope, because a Korean barbecue place is opening up in my hometown. And so I'm looking forward to cooking the meat at the table. And let's see here. So Pokoletee saying, lots of buffets now serve up smaller portions to mitigate against food waste. Still AYCE, but less throwaway. AYCE, all you can eat. Sorry. Yeah, you just witnessed that. I didn't know what she meant by AYCE at first, but now I know. Now I know. All you can eat. Yes, there we go. I'm a little slow today, I think. I didn't have any coffee, and I took a nap, and then I woke up, and I started my stream. So that's what I'm going to blame it on. No coffee. That's what we're blaming it on. So, let's see here. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, I know what we can do. Okay. I know what we can do. You guys. I want to show you a couple different things that Darlene and Rick did this weekend. Or maybe it was this week. I don't know. It might have been this weekend. It might have been this week. All I know is it's a little bit warmer where Rick and Darlene are right now. Hey, Chris. How are you, Mr. Kenmotsu? Good to see you. Long time no see. Where have your trucker ways been taking you lately? So glad that you could stop in right now. We're just wrapping up a conversation about Mongolian barbecue joints and Korean barbecue joints. And I'm just about to tell everybody what Rick and Darlene did this week. Took the grandkids out to an amazing experience I'm assuming it was in Milwaukee. And I can say I'm not sure what exactly this was in celebration of, but this was the China Light Fest. And so it's the China Light Fest at the Botanical Gardens. And first we have got a quick little movie, and then we'll look at a slideshow of pictures. But first, let's check out the movie. It's a very quick movie.
A video to walk through of a bridge, of flowers. Yeah. Pufferfish puffing up. There's moving parts even on this display. Crab attack. Snails. Now we come to a different land. Not under the sea. It's palm trees. We must be in a tropical area now. Feed me, Seymour. The chameleon changing colors. It moves. Volcano land. And back by the butterflies. beds now without dropping the vase of flowers.
All right, so there you have it. So, I know, Gina, isn't it gorgeous? And so, Rick, okay, that is helping me. So most of these sculptures are already they're already there all year round. And so it's just the lighting of it that is the China Light Festival. And then, is that what I'm understanding? Or are some of these exhibits very specifically part of this light festival? Like the Seymour, Little Shop of Horrors plant, and like the chameleon and stuff, or the crab. Like, are those permanent fixtures in the botanical gardens? And then it was just lit up. And then also, I guess my next question is, was this done, like, is there some sort of Chinese holiday that's happening right now, and that's why they do it this part of the year? Or what? Like, why? Okay, so hold on. Okay, so not just hard as in not balloons, and all brought in just for a few weeks and a few bucks. Yeah, of course. But Darlene, no, it's botanical gardens that only for about 6 weeks they put up this display. Okay. All right. Okay, so that was the little video, the tiniest of videos. Now, Darlene did send me a couple more videos, but it had clips with her grandkids that you could actually see. And I just get a little hesitant when it comes to that, showing off other people's grandchildren or children. If they were mine, different story, but they're not. So, let's see here. Where did here we go. So here's the other, and Rick, not sure why they set it up, but Andre's like, well, it was the Autumn Moon Festival last month. So, okay, yeah. So yeah, who knows why? Don't question it, just experience it. And here are some more pictures of more of the displays that we didn't necessarily see in the movie. And I'm sure, Andre, it's this weekend is the Autumn Moon Festival. Oh, that would explain why I got the moon cake that I got from the owner of Waku the other day. Okay. It was the moon cake for the Autumn Festival, the kind with the salted egg yolk, which I was like, oh, thank you. And then I put it in my pocket and didn't eat it because I don't like those ones. Some moon cakes are really good, and other moon cakes taste like fish. And they're not fish, but they taste like fish with like sweet walnut sauce, and I don't like those ones. But that's okay. It was the thought that counted, and I was very honored that she gave me a moon cake that I then put in my pocket and did not eat. And so Rick's not sure why they set it up, but it gets put up every year, says Darlene, the same time frame. And you also had dragon boat races this summer at the lakefront in Milwaukee. Nice. And so, yeah, this is the China Lights, Wisconsin, I guess is what it is. And why that picture wasn't at the beginning, I don't know. And Andre, mooncakes are always given with love. That is true, but sometimes non-Chinese don't love how they taste. Well, the thing is there's a bunch of different kind of mooncakes. I have had at least 4 different types of mooncakes. And the one with the salted egg yolk in the middle is the one that I just cannot abide by. The other ones I can tolerate, but the salted egg yolk one, the one for the Moon Festival, it's the one that really symbolizes the moon. It doesn't. Oh no. Oh no. And all right, Gina, be right back. We'll be here for another like 28 minutes. We'll be here. And exactly right, Pussycat. The autumn moon lights my way. Now, if you look closely, you might spot a rickfoot in the wild here. You might spot a rickfoot. They're hard to find sometimes, but you might spot them. And let's see here. I love that owl. That owl just looks so judgmental. I love that silly flippin' owl. And Pussycat, I have no problem rambling on. That's what I do here. That's what I do, is I ramble on. Probably that probably should be a song that should be played at my memorial. Ramble on and on and on and on. Because, those of us who can't shut up, we what is it? We belong to, oh gosh, what is the joke again? Yes, I know what it is those of us who ramble, we belong to that group on and on and on. As opposed to Alcoholics and On, you go on and on, anonymous, on and on and on. Yeah, it's funny when you have to explain the joke. And let's see here. So Richfoot glows in the autumn moon as well. There you go. These lighted displays were huge too. Oh yeah, they look huge, dude. And there was interactive things for the grandkids. Totally, yeah. You were telling me like the chameleon changed colors based on the little pads the kids were pressing. And the crab attack actually had like smoke-filled bubbles that they were shooting at the crowd. So that was super, super cute. And option, yeah, there you go. You love the on and on and on. Yeah, that's exactly it. Hi, my name is Mad Statter. I belong to on and on and on. And so let's see here. Pussycat, yes. Oh, well, I don't know if they had Led Zeppelin music on during this festival, but in the movie that we just saw, that Darlene made, in the video clips, you could hear different music in the background. So absolutely, it sounds like there was music was definitely part of this event. And Andre, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Carl in Arkansas. Carl has been here for 13 months in a row. And Darlene, it was more Chinese types of music was going on. Okay, well that makes sense. That totally makes sense. And I love this little hallway of flowers. It is just so flippin' beautiful. And this archway is just amazing. This archway is just an amazing entryway. I assume entryway. And let's see here. Andre, did I have a rock planetarium that had laser rock nights? No, we did not have the was it the No, it wasn't the planetarium. It was the Seattle Science Center. But I think like their laser dome was built to be a laser dome. Like there wasn't. It was made for rock. Like it was just made for the laser shows. I don't think it was a planetarium. I don't think it is a planetarium. But it was the Science Center. So I don't even know if the Science Center has a planetarium. In fact, I don't even know if Seattle has a planetarium, now that I think about it. And frankly, I'm also surprised that I'm saying planetarium as well as I'm saying it, because ever since the South Park episode about the planetarium, where you can't say the T in planetarium, I've always said planetarium the way they did on South Park, that way. Except for here on this stream, I said planetarium like I'm supposed to. So let's see here. Rick, that flower-covered walkway in the trees must have been 50 yards long. Whoa, dude. 50, that's like half a football field, man. That is crazy. And, all right, Chris, good to see you. Have fun hanging out in Kansas. And hopefully you guys will get to see each other soon. Remember, Saturday, 6 p.m., we've got StatterBox at the cinema. And next Saturday, I'm planning on showing All in the Ohana with Andy Bumatai. So, let's see here. And Andre, okay, we had one in the Academy of Sciences in San Francisco. Also the aquarium as well. Oh wow, the aquarium had laser shows? Trippy, dude. Yeah, our aquarium definitely did not have laser shows. But our aquarium did have an IMAX theater, just like the Seattle Center has an IMAX theater. So I don't know how common it is for cities to have 2 IMAX theaters in their vicinity, but Seattle does, or at least Seattle did. Now that they have remodeled the aquarium, I don't know if the IMAX theater is still there at the aquarium, now that I think about it. And let's see, Darlene, the trees, bushes, garden walkways were all decorated, and they were all different areas of the world, like the sea, the palm trees, the huge butterfly garden, and the flower area. Yeah, that volcano looked cool. It was smoking and looked like it was going to erupt. Oh, nice. Awesome. Oh, that looks so, that seems so awesome, you guys. All right, so we've still got a couple things on the docket for today, but we are running out of time, which means it might be time for our Lono listening break. Now, this song comes off of the latest Molokai Eevee band. It's called Fly Children Fly, and quite honestly, I wish I could tell you the background of this song. I have none. The liner notes have anything I know about the song comes from the liner notes. This song is new to my ears. I do not know the background. I do not know how long this song has been in existence. I don't have anything to say other than this is by far the newest song, to my knowledge, off of the latest album. And the chances are, unless you own this album, you might not have heard it yet. So here we go. Lono's new album. The song is called Fly Children Fly. Boop.
No sorrow future is in your hand. Do not take a bruised hand. Run it must where children play, running from the night into day. Fly, children, fly. Darkness has arrived. What you cannot see, there will you find. What you need to be, what lies in your heart, right there from the start. Look into his eyes, you will feel his pain. Break those awful chains and free yourself. Oh yeah, fly, children, fly. Fly, children, you know you can. Pick your feet off the ground and fly. This person is confused. He needs love. Fly, children, fly. Fly, children, fly. Fly, children, fly. Fly,
Right, there we go. And all right, so yeah, escape rooms seem like a nightmare to me. I can't even imagine, and what I do imagine sounds like a nightmare to me. Like I said, especially if you had to do it like involuntarily, you know, it's like your workplace. Like, we're gonna do this as a team building event. Oh my god, kill me now. I don't want. Oh, sounds like a flippin' nightmare. And let's see here. Andre, man, I think Hawaii now is going to cover the Hokulea in San Francisco because there was a lady that kept narrating what was happening really loud as I was trying to listen and record the event. She said that I am from Hawaii now. Okay. I don't know what that means, but okay. Oh, Hawaii Now. I get it now. All right, Hawaii Now is the show. I did not read what you wrote with that. Okay, yeah, so it's the show. That doesn't surprise me, although I wouldn't be surprised actually if really they only, I mean, they're probably I wouldn't be surprised if they're not going to be following them along in South America and other really far off places. But, you know, hopping down the West Coast with them is kind of an easier trip. But yeah, we'll see where Hawaii now follows them. And Pokoletee Escape Room is just a notch below bungee jumping for you. I agree, it is below, because even though the idea of bungee jumping in theory freaks me out, and in theory I know I would never do, quote unquote never, it's not really true. You see, I went to, and I've told this story before, so forgive me as you've already heard it, but I actually went to one of the first, if not the first places that bungee jumping was commercially available, up in Nanaimo, Canada, on Vancouver Island. And the bungee jumping takes place off of a train trestle that happens above a river. And so you jump off of the train trestle, and sometimes your head hits the water in the river, sometimes it doesn't, whatever. And then they go out on a little raft, and then they grab you and they unhook you, and then you fall into the boat, and then they bring you to shore. And it is one of the most beautiful forest settings you're ever going to be. It's amazing. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And we went to go watch the bungee jumping because we thought it would be neat to watch. And it was free, you know, something to do. Because, I mean, my God, why would you jump off a perfectly good bridge, right? Right. So, I'm watching from below, and I'm just like, oh, heck to the no. But then I went up to the train trestle and started watching people jump from the top. And honestly, after being up there for a little while, I kind of almost got the nerve to ask my parents for $75, because at the time it was $75, to do it. Seriously, I had almost lost my fear of it after watching it over and over and over and over and over. I had literally, I was like, God, you know, I almost, and just as I was getting the courage up to do it, my parents were just like, okay, this is enough. Let's go, we'll leave now. And so I was like, okay, it's probably best we leave now, because but against any preconceived notion that I had about myself, I actually found myself wanting to bungee jump in that circumstance. Now, I don't understand the idea of bungee jumping off of a crane in the middle of the fair, blah, blah, blah. Because, yeah, Pokoletee, you know what? I do want my last view before I die and before I crap myself is like, what a beautiful forest. I actually would rather have that rather than, why did I decide to do this in the middle of the desert or whatever? And I know you're still going to die, but seriously though, I stunned myself by actually thinking that I wanted to bungee jump for a minute in my life. So, bungee jumping is a little bit above my priority list than horror rooms. I never would have thought that was the case, but apparently, or not horror rooms, but escape rooms. So there you go. Now, let's see here. It looks like, Gina, paddleboarding and surfing and swimming in the ocean terrify you. Oh, really? Really? I mean, I guess it's healthy to have that fear. You definitely need the respect of the ocean, but yeah, I don't know. And so, Puzzy T, right now, they have Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, and your daughter has a pass for it and has already been twice. All right, they have 10 different horror rooms. Let's see here. Stranger Things, The Last of Us, and Chucky. Okay, yeah, none of these things sound like rooms that I would like to go to, but that's okay. And Darlene, I must be a prude, for I went to a really creepy and scary haunted theme house, and I got so freaked out, you had a nightmare after that, so no more of those for you. They make them so realistic and scary. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been to like a legit haunted house. I've been to haunted houses, at school and things like that, but like the legit ones that, paid actors and real costumes and whatever. I don't know if I've ever gone through one of those, and honestly, I can say I don't think I want to. And let's see here. Andre would not go bungee jumping, but would do parachuting for some reason. And maybe just because the description of your death would sound cooler as they described a parachute accident as opposed to, and then he went bungee jumping and the rubber band broke. Yeah. And then the rubber band broke. That's not nearly as good of a story. Not even. So let's see here. Okay, so before we wind things up, I wanted to share with you a couple things. First off, I can't find it, so I'm not going to share it with you. Yep, there we go. That about that. Okay, well, obviously the cat wants to look at the China light pictures again. Hold on. It's not what I meant to do. Gosh darn it. She had a whole other idea about how we was going to run the stream today. So, all right. You know what, Keaton? That's right. Yeah, we're doing this. She insists, so I'm going to insist as well. All right. Here we go. This is Ashes. Just being a little. Yep, there you go. All right, can you go? There we go. Okay, are we done? All right, I touched her, so now she must clean. So we'll probably be safe for like the next minute or two. Anyway. All right, so I wanted to share with you guys. Pussycat, your wife's grandmother jumped and broke her ankle parachuting. How old was she when she jumped? I mean, I can't I'm not trying to be ageist, but was she a grandma when she jumped? Because, dude, that's impressive. But also, dude, what were you thinking, grandma? And that sucks too, because I broke an ankle. I know how it feels. Breaking an ankle sucks. Breaking something that you depend on to keep you stable as you walk definitely sucks. And see, Honda, so good to see you coming in on the YouTube side. Yes, that was Ashes being a little sassy. Ashes is what she was doing. And yeah, I would imagine, Andre, that it would be easy to break an ankle parachuting, especially solo. Yeah, dude, you don't land right. You don't land right. You can mess some things up. Your ankles, your knees, your hips, your back, all sorts of things, for certain. And, all right, so I mentioned this earlier, and now if I could just flip and find it, I'll show it to you, except for I can't, so here we go. Oh, here we go. All right, I mentioned this to you guys earlier, and boop, this is what I'm going to be making tonight. And I wanted to share with you the recipe in case anybody else feels like making clam chowder at some point or another. I can say that, not Pokoletee, but C. Honda has actually tried this recipe, as have I. And I believe C. Honda's family enjoyed it just fine and dandily. And Pokoletee, ooh, secret recipe, exactly. Now, I can't say that this is truly the Ivers clam chowder recipe of Ivers of Seattle. But what I can say is it's gosh darn close enough. I mean, it is absolutely, I mean, I'm sure there's a difference. I'm sure side by side, I'd probably be able to be like, oh, dude, this is blah, blah, blah. I'm sure if I had them side by side, I could totally be like, nope, that is not the same as Ivers. But not by side, it's as good as Ivers. And I understand that it's possible to find better clam chowder in Seattle than at Ivers. But Ivers is the iconic clam chowder of Seattle. There is a Pike Place Chowder Company I think it's called Pike Place Chowder Company. It's in Pike Place Market. It's a seafood / chowder restaurant. And from my understanding, their chowder is superior to Ivar's. I've never had it, but from what I've seen of it on television and live stream shows, it's a good looking bowl of chowder. I would definitely eat that bowl of chowder. So, hey, I'm not saying that Ivar's is the best, but what I am saying is Ivar's is the most iconic Seattle experience you're going to have. And if you're going to go to you're going to go to waterfront Seattle, like Andre did, you are going to have to experience Ivar's clam chowder. And you're going to have to experience Ivar's clam chowder on the waterfront next to the ferry terminal, fighting seagulls for your french fries. That just is what it is. And so Ivar's chowder has a unique taste, but it's very tasty. Now, Chowdah may or may not have done... Okay, so the very last ingredient on this list is 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. I did not add the sugar. I do not add the sugar. I didn't see the point. Whether or not Chowdah added the sugar, I don't know. But I like it without the sugar. Chowdah liked it however it was that she prepared it. Perhaps with, perhaps without. I don't know. But I do encourage you guys to maybe take a screenshot of this. And if you're in the mood for white clam chowder, this is not the red tomato base. This is the cream base. And it's a little bit on the thick side, so you can definitely thin it out if you like. I like it a little bit on the thick side. I don't like it so thick it's gloppy. And this is a good go-between, I would say. And so I wanted to share with you that, but then also because I'm silly and because I grew up with The Simpsons, I wanted to share with you whenever I think of chowder, I always think of this episode of The Simpsons where they're making fun of, they basically are making fun of, the Quimby family in The Simpsons is essentially the Kennedy family of the United States. And so, let's see here. Chowdah, I don't remember if I used sugar, but I think you recommended less half and half. Hold on. No, what I might have said is you could use half and half or you could use milk. I've used both, I think is what I said. Either way, I don't even remember what I said, but what I do know is this recipe is definitely very versatile. You can make your tweaks and additions as you see fit. So, by all means, flex your little cooking muscles. If you're just like, what? That's sugar? That sounds like the dumbest thing in the world. That's right. It is the dumbest thing in the world if you think it is. So don't put it in your food. But somebody else might be like, you're the dumbest person in the world if you don't put the sugar in. Because if you don't put the sugar in, then all of a sudden you can't taste the clams. The sugar really helps bring the clam out. I actually don't know if that's the case because I don't use sugar. But somebody who does use sugar might know better than me and might point and laugh at my suggestion to not use the sugar. So, hey, you do you, boo. But back to The Simpsons, and then we'll wrap it all up because we are running past time. Oh, yeah, you have to do the celery, onions, and the potatoes. That's kind of a given. Absolutely. And I think I add carrots too, and then I'm like, oh, shoot, you're not supposed to use carrots. But I think I usually have some carrots in there too. But you're not supposed to, but I always do. Anyway, I thought I'd share with you this very, very silly Simpsons clip about chowder.
Hey! What the... Wait a minute, come here. What did you call it? Say it loud enough so everyone can hear. Come on, say it.
Chowdah.
Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Chowdah! Chowdah! It's Chowdah! Say it right!
Chowdah.
Ah ha ha! Ah ha ha ha! Ah! Come back here! I'm not through demeaning you. Well, therefore, you certainly would never lose your temper over something as trivial as the pronunciation of chowder. That's Chowdah! Chowdah! I'll kill you! I'll kill all of you! Especially those of you in the jury!
All right, so there we go. As I was saying, in The Simpsons, the Quimby family is their version of the Kennedys, hence the Chowdah, East Coast Boston-esque accent that was going on there, and you know, why did I show that? Just because it was about chowder. That's all. No reason. No reason at all. And no, Homer didn't eat the poisoned fish. And by the way, I will give you this spoiler alert because this episode came out like over 30 years ago, and I feel it's been enough time now. The gentleman on the stand who was accused of violence due to the mispronunciation of chowder actually was innocent of the crimes he was accused of. And at the end of the clip, at the end of the episode, you see what really happened. And even though you think that the Quimby kid beat up the waiter, because the waiter ends up getting beaten up, that's not at all what happened. And so, so let's see here. Non-rhotic, my grandfather had that accent. Got it. Non-rhotic. I don't know how to say that. And let's see here. Exactly, see Honda, Simpsons are classic. And Andre, you've been to Cape Cod and saw the Kennedy Vacation House. I went to Newport, Rhode Island and saw some Kennedy something or other that they had, like a boat that they had there or something. I don't know. It's so... Old money of the East Coast is so not my scene. Like, wow, it is just... Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again, you guys. It's like a whole New England over there. Anyway, on that note, okay, I got it right the first time. It means they don't pronounce their R's. Got it. All right, so we learned something, we laughed something, we talked about food twice, 14 times, I don't know. Anyway, we're done with the show today. We will see each other on Wednesday, 4 p.m. West Coast time. I'm telling me that to remind me that 4 p.m. West Coast time on Wednesday. But before that, hopefully we'll see each other on Andy Boomatai's Daily Pigeon Live. But if not, Wednesday, Chatter with Statter, 4 p.m. And then, in case... That's right, Darlene, we will not see you this week because you've got things to do up north. But in case you didn't miss the little detail I dropped earlier, next Saturday, StatterBox at the cinema... It's going to be all in the Ohana with Andy Boomatai. All right, you guys. Thank you, everyone. Andre, Pokoletee, Darlene, and Rick for all the great content that you provided for today. You're our roving reporters you're the best roving reporters ever. Thank you so much for hanging out, you guys. See, Honda, thank you for catching the show on repeat and live when you can. I appreciate it so much. Safe trip to Darlene and Rick. That is it. And thank you guys for your subs and your gift subs and your resubs and all of the support and everything. And most importantly, thanks for hanging out and chatting the chat, because without you, we would not be here. All right, you guys, we're running late, so we got to go. Take care. See you soon.